The 1911, like this Springfield operator right here. Now, if you don't know anything about the 1911, it is one of the most iconic pistols of all times. Even well after 100 years after this thing was designed, it is still in use around the world today. The 1911 is one of the finest pistols you're gonna fire out on the range. Everything from the ergonomics to the trigger that everybody seems to try and chase, the crisp, clean break that the 1911 has. The 1911 pistol has been in use from various military units, various different world wars, everything from Army, the Marines, Rangers, Delta, FBI teams have all used at some point the 1911, and it is still in use in those today and widely carried in law enforcement and security contracting alike. The new Springfield operator was built with all of this in mind, giving us everything we want for a duty pistol in a nice clean package that we can all be comfortable carrying out there. The Springfield operator was built with all of this in mind, and today we are going to explore why I think the Springfield 1911 is still one of the most relevant pistols out there today and is making a huge comeback for not only law enforcement but security work as well. First, we have to explore what makes the 1911 pistol so good, and I think anybody out there when they talk about a 1911, the first thing they're going to say is that trigger. That linear pull on a hammer-fired pistol like the 1911 just gives you a feel like nothing else out there in the market that has served citizens, law enforcement, and the military alike. The second thing that makes the 1911 so good are the ergonomics of this. The 1911 operator has far less aggressive angles to the grip, which usually is going to work better with most people's natural body ergonomics out there for a nice, comfortable feeling on the range. And of course, with all of the service the 1911 pistols have seen around the world, the durability, quality, and reliability has definitely been proven from world wars to everyday duties out on the street. So with all of these positives, it's no wonder why the 1911 is making a massive comeback, especially in law enforcement. Notice why I said making a comeback. The reason for that is more and more police agencies out there are allowing officers to carry their own pistols. Now that's quite a good thing because it allows people to carry what they want, but there's a lot of expense to that for individual officers. So think about it this way. When an agency opens up the ability to carry a pistol like the 1911 operator, it's amazing how many officers flock to gun stores and buy their own personal pistols. Now that says a lot about what this pistol has to offer and how good it is out there for law enforcement if people are willing to turn down a free gun their agency would give them and go out and buy a 1911 like a Springfield operator. I know for myself personally, I'm working where I do, watching officers flock to the range for qualifications with their new 1911s, asking their opinions on why they changed to that from another brand or another style of pistol, and the most common response was, it's just better in every way. Out on the range, the 1911 is going to give you positive feedback like few other pistols can, not only from the safety mechanism, but especially that trigger. Everything from the take-up, that clean, crisp break that it has, and that very positive reset. The recoil impulse, even on a .45 caliber 1911, is very controllable, not only due to the ergonomics of it, but to a little bit more robust weight that many of us out there like. Running this pistol on the range, everything from the trigger to the safety controls to that backstrap safety are very natural, and they add to the shooting experience rather than taking away from it. One of the biggest things I've seen with modern law enforcement agencies is they are figuring out that pistols are not a one-size-fits-all. And by allowing officers the opportunity to go out and buy their own pistols and carry something like the 1911 that they perform better with and feel more comfortable with is a win-win, not only for the officer, the city, and the department. This is really a net positive for everybody. The agency is going to get to save a little bit of money because the officer is buying their own pistol, and they're going to get a better performing and a happier employee because they get to carry what they want and what they are most comfortable with and what they perform under stress the best with. The modern 1911 carried by law enforcement not only gives you a more refined and performance-based package, but it's going to give you an additional level of safety. Everything from that backstrap safety to that thumb safety. That is going to introduce more conscious thought into an officer's process every time they use that pistol. That's going to further advance their safety training and likely further advance their skills in decision making. And having that backstrap safety on the 1911 pistol is going to ensure a good solid primary hand grip every single time the officer goes to draw their pistol. This is not only going to improve performance and accuracy, but also the ability to mitigate and manage the recoil impulse, especially when carrying a 45. And if you are not into the traditional 45 caliber 1911, with everything that's on the market today, there are plenty of 9mm offerings in the 1911 platform, which make it even better out there for accuracy and mitigation and control of recoil management. The legacy and history of the 1911 has been well documented, but that history is still being written to this day. With the resurgence of the 1911 being carried in law enforcement for duty, and every owner from every walk of life turning again to the 1911 because of all of the great attributes that it has, that history is going to be written long into the future. Make sure you check out some more of the content on the Army Life, especially when it comes to the 1911s and the new 9mm offerings. Get out there and have some fun on the range, and I will see you all on the next one.